Okay, so I assume you can see my charts. All is good. Let's start. First things first, let's do market analysis. And I think nothing more to start with than Euro because I think as all of you know, I hope you all read the headlines or you've seen BC updates. We just had German elections yesterday, and I think the favorites won, which is Merkel. Is going to become the chancellor of Germany again. So I don't think there's major changes to the monetary policy and everything. That's why I see Euro still stuck within this range. Let me just draw it out for you. Again, new computer, so forgive me for needing to draw this again. So Euro still stuck in this range, or maybe 119, 121, this kind of range. And you can change the color. And it's not surprising. But if you want to inspect a little bit closer, you will see that today, actually, in fact, this is the opening level for today. Okay, let me just change my trend line. For those of you, I hope you realize that this morning, actually, Euro gapped down. Okay, this is opening price for today. The closing price for Friday is over here. Okay, sorry. It's over here. This is the closing price for Friday. Over here, this opening price for today. So what we have is a gap down early in the morning, and gap is actually filled exactly. The fill of the gap is around 11936, and after that we have a little pullback right now. Strictly speaking, based on the 20 MA, we are in a slight downtrend. We have slight weakness. So I guess it's still a little bit sideways, but I favor the short side a little bit more. Another reason is because this whole thing might look like a top, but the time that I can actually be more confident is when probably price breaks below this small trend over here. If we have price breaking down from here, I think we are definitely good for shorts over here. Okay, so any questions on Euro? So Euro wise, these are big movements. I thought we might have big movement today. Then we can trade in a continuation, but no surprise in the elections. Merkel, got it again, and looks like Euro is not moving anywhere out of this range in a short time. So we'll see. But as of now, I have slight bias for this pair towards the short side. Okay, just based on technicals, because news-wise, fundamentals, nothing much. The other pair to look at is dollar yen. Over the weekend, actually, US flew some bombers over the North Korean coast, and I thought that this pair might see some bearishness. But as you can see again today, this pair is being well supported by the 20-day moving average over here. Oh, this is a H4, sorry. It's a D1. Okay. It is clearly above the 20, here. So we are still bullish again. This part over here, this rally over here, was mainly because the tension subsided in the Korean Peninsula. So nothing much despite having all the bombers. My guess is that the markets are used to having missiles flying all around the place and having some show of force by the US or the South Koreans every time exercise. Markets are not being fluttered in any way. So we'll see. This pair currently bullish at the moment. I just want to share with you some training. So you have to remain bullish for this pair. I think again there might be some dollar strength, just a little bit only. Okay, and that we have dollar yen a little bit strong, euro dollar a little bit weak over here, which means that dollar strength. The other pair that helps me confirm dollar strength is actually gold weakness. Gold again clearly reflecting that markets are not concerned about the geopolitical risk because gold is not being bought. In fact, gold is weak. It's downtrend at the moment. Clearly below this level as well. This level is about 1295. So we are trying to break this level. I think if the momentum continues, we will see price go below this level. I think it's also below 1003. So no doubt we have slight bearishness in gold, which means dollar strength just a little bit at the moment, not a lot. Okay, so if you look at these few pairs, I think the idea is clear. We are for now I want to short gold short euro versus dollar, long dollar, just for the time being until things change. Okay, and the same picture coming for oil. Oil, sorry, a little bit different as well. Still hugging the $50 level around here. Okay, around there, $50 level. So as I mentioned last week, oil is confused around here. We need to have a clear break, a further break up before we can confirm, hey, there's some bullishness in here. So oil at 50, I'm not touching at the moment. I prefer the dollar pairs, probably euro. This looks like a nice consolidation. My guess is that there will be some big moves happening in euro dollar over the soon. Okay. Any questions that anybody have on these few pairs? Okay, I think there's some movement in dollar yen. If dollar yen crosses down the 20, you can consider for shorts. But as of now, it's pretty clear cut. These few pairs have some dollar strength at the moment. Questions. Excuse me. No questions. I'll move on to more pairs. We can look at this pair. I'm particularly interested in Kiwi this week. Why? Number one, this week we have RBNZ, which is Central Bank for New Zealand, having the announcements for rates. Two, again, I see a nice equidistant channel forming, and it seems that this pair might be consolidating. If you look at the whole thing over here, hey, looks nice, quite nice, right? Might be a bear flag. This is the flagpole going downwards. This is the flag itself. And today will be very important for this pair because over here it seems that we are breaking below the MA20. Again, May only. So what I'm looking out for is to see whether today we can close below here. If we close below here, we're bearish. I can try and find some signals in the small time frames, and I continue to short this pair downwards, going to RBNZ, and hopefully you can break this channel. If RBNZ brings some dovishness in Kiwi, I think we can see this pair accelerating towards maybe at least here, the 70 cents level. I'm looking for 70 cents level for this pair, as long as we can stay pinned below the MA20. Now it's still borderline. You can see that we are challenging the 20. If we can close below 20 today, clear-cut shots will be over here. So this pair is particularly interesting this week because there's some fundamentals going on for this pair. So watch out for this pair. You must watch out for this pair. Kiwi dollar is in play this week, and it has a very nice bear flag pattern. For those who don't know what is a bear flag, you can go to babypips.com, take a look. And generally, it's a bearish price pattern, and combining with the usual rules of MA20 plus gold digger signals, you can find some shots over here as well. Good. Okay, we are giving you trade ideas now already for the whole week. I'm looking at euro. I'm looking at this again. If Kiwi dollar stays below the MA20, probably is in sync with the euro dollar shorts just now that I'm looking at, or the dollar yen longs I'm looking at. The dollar yen one will be more tricky because if there's some geopolitical risk going on, probably yen will be the first to strengthen. So dollar yen, I'll be watching it pretty closely. I can change my decision quite fast depending on how the markets react. All right. So let's look next at Nasdaq. Okay. I want to look at Nasdaq and Hang Seng. Dow is still up, so nothing much. Nasdaq, I think, has slight bearishness below the 20 and below this key resistance. So this is the key, it's a resistance, right? We tried here once, we tried around this area twice, cannot, we failed, we break below the MA20. I think Nasdaq is bearish at the moment. We are kept by the 6,000 level at the moment. So I'm looking to have some shots on Nasdaq, number one. Number two, I'm also looking at some shots on Hang Seng. Okay. So if you look at Hang Seng, very similar setup to a few times that we had about this upward channel, right? In fact, I should draw it the other way. This one, I should draw it this way. This way looks more promising. Okay. Again, if you want to draw channels, you can either connect the lower points. If the lower points don't really make sense to form, then you can connect the higher points first and draw parallel downwards. So this makes sense because on the upper end, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 points of contact. On the lower end, you have at least 2 points and the third point of contact over here. So to me, at least 2 to 3 points of contact on each side is actually quite nice. And you can see Hang Seng, number one, below the MA20. 2, any upward channel at the top, to me, is possible distribution. So Hang Seng is a short right now to me, and probably we can expect it to break and have further bearishness from here. So in this side, I'm looking at shorting Nasdaq and Hang Seng. On the currency front, for now, I'm looking at bearishness on Euro, Dollar, Kiwi Dollar, and also bearishness in gold. These few pairs are the pairs I'm looking at the moment. So Nasdaq clearly because number one, below MA20 and also below this key resistance over here. So at least if I have any shorts over here, I have some kind of insurance and some kind of resistance that's supportive of my shorts. You know, comparing to Dow, I don't really see a short in Dow at the moment because you see, it's a breakout. The next time, and you see price is above the 20. So obviously, if I had to choose between this and Nasdaq, I will definitely choose Nasdaq anytime. Okay, so don't be too emotional on this. Just choose the pair that has shown weakness, and I think it's a nice shot over here for Nasdaq as long as there's no new break. Probably the shot will be nicer if we can break. You know, there's a trend over here. If we can break the trend over here, I think the shot will be stronger. Okay, so I think with these few pairs, you should have enough trading ideas to kickstart your week in terms of indices, currencies, commodities, and I think it's a pretty straightforward week to me. We have only one central bank meeting coming up, which is the New Zealand central bank. We don't have any NFP or anything coming up. We do have some the usual economic data. And we already cleared the German elections. We have cleared FOMC. And I think the FOMC tone is actually a little bit hawkish. Yellen seems to be signaling another rate hike for this year, and obviously they are reducing their balance sheets. So in general, all these small signs are actually constructive for the dollar. So I'm not surprised that dollar gained a bit of strength. Not a lot of strength, just a little bit of strength versus the other major currencies. So we'll see how it pans out again for the rest of the week. But an update probably through WhatsApp. But for now, I'll kickstart all of you off this week via these few pairs. Okay, please feel free to just drop in the chat for any pairs that you're interested in, and I have some exciting updates for you as well for those who are here in the webinar. First update is that we are going with the course this Saturday with two main segments. One is we're going to share with you a new strategy. This strategy was developed mainly to trade cryptocurrencies. I think the two cryptocurrencies now that's more tradable on the broker side is actually Bitcoin and Ethereum. So what we have done is we came out with a oil will come in a while. Okay, oil will come in a while. So let me finish this one. So the first part is that there's a new strategy being developed and it will be shared with you this Saturday morning. Okay. Just to give you a heads up first, I may not be conducting the Saturday morning course. Reason is not because I don't want to. Reason is because according to the gynae, my wife might be delivering these few days. So we'll see. I'll try my best to deliver the course personally. But in the event I can't, I already have people to deliver. Hang Seng will be delivering for me. Anyway, the first part, no matter what, is my side trading. The second half is on mining. Mining will be taken care by Jason. So Jason is the expert in mining, so you can ask him on how to mine, what are the equipment involved. This one you can ask him. So the first part, I'll try my best to take it personally this Saturday. But the event, if my wife is delivering and cannot do it, then probably I'll get Hang Seng to do it. But rest assured, not to worry. If you are not too clear about the trading side of things this Saturday, not to worry. What I'll do is I follow up classes the following Wednesday or Friday, either via webinar or we'll conduct in C7 to share with you the trading strategy. The good news is that I've actually tested the strategy on certain forex pairs over the weekend. I find that it's quite effective. So it seems like this strategy that I'm developing for the crypto side on the trading side of things seems to be able to work on trending pairs or crosses in forex. So this will, these Saturdays, I know there's some of you who are not able to squeeze in for this Saturday's course. So not to worry. I'm going to come up with a date soon. Again, I'm refraining from coming with the dates is because of a lot of things that while delivering all this, I can't commit to dates at the moment. But generally, I should be conducting the next second batch for the crypto one on last week of October or first 2 weeks of November. So give me a bit of time and iron that out. Okay. But it's very exciting times because once we clear out the first batch, I intend to issue out the new indicator probably by mid of October, I hope. And of course, there will be EAs as well for this new indicator, and it's all free of charge for members. So for members, there will be free, the new strategy, there'll be free indicator, and there'll be free EA for this as well. So that's the first good news. And just to let you know what's going to happen this Saturday. And in case you're not registered for this Saturday, not to worry, I'll have follow-up classes after this Saturday on the strategy, and the second batch will be announced soon. So a lot of things coming up. And we're preparing, there's a lot of things to do. We are backtesting the indicators, the EAs. We are coming up with slides for this Saturday. So we are doing a lot of work for this coming, classes and events. So forgive us if, and because Muzhi is in Guangzhou as well. So do forgive us if for some responses are slow. There hasn't been classes this week. It's because we're preparing a lot for this weekend's course, and we're preparing the new launch of the indicators and the EAs for you. So of course, all is free. Okay. So that's number one. Number two, the second segment for this Saturday's course is actually the mining part. Okay, the mining part also a lot of good news to share. Number one, I think a lot of you are very keen on to know how cryptocurrencies actually are being produced and everything. So what we'll do is this Saturday, Jason will kickstart the second session. He'll take care of all the things, right from the equipment to the logic behind and everything. He's the expert. I'm not an expert in this area. He's the expert in this area, to hash rates, to everything. So you challenge him. What we're having even further than that is that this Saturday we'll clear our doubts and we'll have some photo samples for you to take a look at how the rigs look like. Blah blah blah. He'll share with you how the rigs work. We're also going to officially launch our factory. So as SITI, we have invested in a factory that will have physical rigs. So the rigs don't belong to us, not totally belong to us. SITI will have some rigs vested by me, vested by my family, blah blah blah. Some of the rigs also belong to other investors in SITI. So Jason is going to share with you, for those who are interested in the rigs, how you can host your rigs at our factory. So we're going to have factory set up. The more exciting one, even then, is that once the factory is being done up, now it's in the process, we're doing cabling and renovation. So once the rigs are up, we are going to invite whoever is interested to visit the factory. It's like a showroom, so you're going to go there. It's like educational trip. So you're going to go there. You're going to see how the rigs look like. You're going to see how how a rigging farm actually. It's a scale down farm. It's not a big farm. So you're going to have a few machines running. We're going to show you how cryptocurrencies are being mined, and then after that how these are converted to cash. Blah blah blah. So it's going to be very exciting times. As we move on from trading, trading is still as per normal, but going to physical side of things, having factories and everything. So again, thanks for all your support. We are going to have the showrooms. I think it's going to be a great educational trip for all these visits to the showroom, because I think we are the first in Singapore, if not the first, one of the first, to have physical rigs and farms or factories available for the public to view and to see and to feel how fintech or cryptocurrencies are helping people to make money and everything. So it's really a joy and an honor to be able to provide this, being one of the pioneers, because I don't see I do see hobbies mining on their own at home, but to me that's not scalable, and also having one rig is actually nothing much. So I'm pretty serious in this, so that's why we invested in the factory, and I think it's important to bring whoever's interested to see exactly how it works, and to see that the world has actually changed from just trading or traditional stock and shares, unit trust. Things have moved on that you can actually produce your own coins, in your own factory, that kind of thing. So I think it's very exciting. We are, for the first time, we're able to showcase physical stuff to our members. I think the usual thing has been we've been using charts and everything. So I think it's something different that we're able to bring you to the factory probably next month. Next month we will be in the factory, and again, during the course on Saturday, for those who come on Saturday, you will be able to sign up for the tour, firsthand. Then we'll slowly open up to the second batch and to the rest of the club and everything. Okay, but for those who cannot wait, that kind of thing, want to see the factory education, you can also text my admin saying that you are interested for the tour, and we'll let you know the details. Definitely not this month. It has to be next month, probably second half of next month. We'll try to organize some tours to the factory for you to see how the rigs are in action and everything. It's not an easy project because in Singapore, a lot of things are very expensive. A lot of things need clearance, like electricity need professional electrician, blah blah blah. So it's not an easy project so far, but we have been able to overcome most of the difficulties, and everything is going smooth as per plan right now. Just need some final cabling work touching up, and we should be able to have nice showrooms and offices over there for the rigs coming soon. Probably for the tour, we are still in construction, still constructing the office, but at least the tour, you should be able to see how the rigs work, and probably we'll let you see some e-wallets and how coins are being converted to cash over there. So trading side of things is also very exciting. We have new indicator coming up for you. The indicator wise, and this strategy that we're going to share with you next week, at the end of this week, will be tradable on the mobile phone, meaning that even you do not have the EA, you do not have the indicator, again, it's not going to be a black box, for example, it's going to be totally disclosed the strategy. You will be able to trade it on your mobile phone just like this. There's no proprietary things over here. So I think it's good because that's why this Wednesday, for those interested, I may just give a little preview on how the strategy works, because this Wednesday the class is about trading on mobiles, right? I think it's time that the club is going to be more mature and people are trading already. Slowly share more techniques to trade on mobiles, because I think that's the challenge. Because most of the time, a lot of folks like me, I'm not able to look at the computer always because children, blah blah blah. So I think it's time that we devise some strategies that can bring you, that can give you the ability to trade on the go. And I think before that, I need to conduct a class to make sure that, hey, you know how to manage your MT4 system on your mobile. Because the last thing I want is I teach you a strategy, for example, right? And then after that, you don't even know how to place orders on your phone, don't know how to edit stop loss on your phone, don't know how to put indicator on your phone and how to read the indicator. So this Wednesday, I think is a very hands-on session. Everybody must bring their phones. I think this is a given that you want to learn to trade on mobile, then you must at least bring your phone or iPad or your mobile devices, so that it can be a very hands-on session. And probably if I have time, I'll give a few pointers, a prelude of the new indicator, the new strategy that we have to trade in the cryptocurrencies. Okay, and that I'll also tell you which pairs that we can use the new strategy on. So this is the update that we're having so far. It's pretty exciting. So any questions? Very exciting times for us, because we have a lot of things developing. Now we're going to have physical factories as well. So again, for those who have not registered for the first batch or the second batch, please WhatsApp to my admin, right, to indicate your interest. Again, indicate your interest means that you're interested to the course. Indicating interest does not equate to being registered for the course. It's just a property. You indicate interest for the property. After that, when the property is being launched, I'll inform you the time and the date and the venue. Then you have to confirm with me that you're coming one more time. Okay? Why we need some have the interest indicated? Because so that I can find the right place. I cannot be catering for 50 packs, and the food will be provided, of course. I cannot be catering for so many people when there's only 10 packs of interest. So it's always asking for interest first. After that, okay, I have this interest. I find a place, I pay, blah blah blah, and and I try to make sure the interests and the location does match. Okay, I know some of you have not registered. So again, there's a lot of things to register, but it's good. Things are moving. We have a lot of activities going on. So for those who say, I don't want to learn any of the trading things, I don't come for any course. I just want to go and see how your rigs are. It's so interesting. I want to know, be educated on what does it look like. You can also just tell my folks I want to interested to view the factory when it's ready, so that I know once the factory is ready who to contact. My team will know who to contact. Say, hey, these guys are interested in seeing the rigs, seeing the factory, see how it works. Then we'll bring you guys for a tour, because I'm not going to disclose the location of the factory or the showroom publicly. I'm not going to. Only for those interested, we'll privately invite you to the showroom or to the factory to take a look at what we're doing. Okay? Ken, anything? Today's session is nothing. We're not going to be long, because it's mainly for you to start kick off the week in terms of trading. I know there's a few charts I want to look at. Let's look at oil again. Just now, I think I look at my oil chart. If you're in oil, generally I'm not touching oil because it's at the 50 level, and it's not easy to trade oil this period. So I'm not touching oil because I don't like the 50 level. So what I'm doing is this: I'm waiting for it to break either further up to take longs, or my preference is actually for it to break down. There is a small trend line here. Okay, if we can close below the MA20, why I want it to close below is because seems like gold and euro dollar and Kiwi dollar are showing a bit of dollar strength. So preferably oil also comes down, and oil is in sync, very nice with dollar strength. So for oil, I'm not touching at the moment because it's at 50 level. 50 level, I can tell you, usually very tough to trade for oil. It's being whipsaw around there. So you see a lot of time is stuck around here for quite a few days already. I want to break out first, either way, then take the continuation from there. Hope that explains my view on oil. Not touching. I prefer it to you. If you want, you touch gold first. I think gold is more clear cut. I think now we are doing better at 1,003, but I think strictly speaking, we are already below 1,003 and also below this key level. So I think gold is more clear cut. I'll continue shorting from here. And of course, euro dollar also a bit clear cut, can go from here as well. So I'm not touching oil at the moment. If you want, I think somebody mentioned Aussie dollar, if I'm not wrong. Let's look at Aussie dollar. Of course, Kiwi is one of my star plays. Kiwi is supported by the 20. But this is intraday. So the action now up and down here is not important. What is important now is at the close of today's bar. Is it above or below the MA20? This is my key concern. Okay, let's look at Aussie. Okay, and it's the same situation. You have one long bar down here. Okay, signifying Aussie weakness and also dollar strength. And you have this. This is very nice because to me as a trader, I see one false break. I see two false break over here. So key resistance, fake break. Definitely I'm bearish on this pair at the moment. Again, in sync with Kiwi dollar. So I'm actually bearish on this pair at the moment. But not easy to trade, honestly speaking, because this whole area has been pretty choppy. In fact, many of the pairs has been pretty choppy at the moment. So I'm not surprised if you have stop loss here and there, because if you look at euro dollar today, this is euro dollar. Let's look at the 5-minute charts for euro dollar. You had euro dollar gapping down in the morning here, and after that making full recovery to close the gap. If somebody saw the gap down, saw that it's euro weakness and shorted immediately, he'll be punished immediately with price rushing up directly from here intraday in the morning. So it's not easy condition to trade, because it's not just a matter of down and then sideways a little bit down and kind of market. It's not like this, you see. This is the nice to trade: down, sideways consolidation, and down, and not almost full retracement over here. So it's not easy markets to trade, because I've seen this kind of full retracements quite often in the last few trading sessions. Okay, the other session that had this was here. I hope you remember what happened here. This was FOMC. This, by the way, intraday euro dollar. This FOMC coming down, slam down. After that, you thought, well, maybe next day your continuation, but next day you just pop up and down, keep pushing up. Almost 100% retracement. I think it's almost an 80% retracement to 90% retracement of the move after FOMC. So these conditions are not ideal conditions to trade, especially if you trade in small time frame. So I'm not surprised if you are not making money this few days, it's normal. It's absolutely normal, because we as trend traders don't like, down and then retrace up all the way. And you see down and then retrace up all the way. We don't like that, but it's not a choice. We won't know until it comes. So we just have to stick to the strategy and do the risk management accordingly. Right. So now I think it's clear cut what to focus this week in terms of commodities, indices, and currencies. Okay, and that is why it's always important to do sizing and everything properly. Okay, Ken. The new strategy, I would say new no, there's a modified. It's a modified strategy, in fact, from the Gold Digger. We're still relying on MAs and everything, but I think the execution will be much easier. Why? I can give you a little bit of prelude. I don't want to explain too much, because so that the webinars can be topical. Topical means that, hey, this webinar we do market analysis. That webinar alone we do explaining of the whole strategy, so that when people replay the webinar, right, they know that, hey, oh, this episode is about this. And also don't want to stretch the webinar too long to 1 hour, 2 hours, that kind of thing. Let's just do that kind of 40 minutes to 1 hour webinar. Just nice, I think. Just like watching one episode of drama. You watch the first episode. After that, a bit tired. You want to rest about that kind of thing. Okay, especially this is not as exciting as Korean drama. So I'm sure after one episode of 40 minutes, you want to take a break already. I know Korean drama, some of you can chase, but that's because it's drama, ma. But in terms of charting everything, I think after half an hour, 45 minutes, you want to take a break. You want to play a while with your charts, take a look already. Okay, so for the strategy, it's actually a modified grid strategy. Okay, you all know that grid is actually not so good strategy, because why? In generally, grids have no direction. Up and down, they also go and do enter position. Secondly, grid trading usually does not have any stop loss. So what I did was that, since I know that these two characteristics are the weakness of grids, what I did was that I modified the grid strategy to have some stop losses and to have some management, so that we eliminate, not totally reduce the risk of the characteristics of that. Then why grid? I think one of the beneficial of grid is that there's no particular trigger to follow. That means when price reach a certain level, we will just enter. So the new strategy, the entry does not need any trigger, mainly time specific, which means that when every bar close, we can enter. Of course, there's some conditions, but there's no trigger particular, like Gold Digger, you need the MA to curve upwards, that kind of thing. So it's a bit different. I think that's why the reason that it doesn't have any particular trigger, right? This enables me to trigger it, to trade it on mobile. Because you know what, if it's a proprietary indicator or something special, then it needs special trigger and everything, right? Then it's very difficult to trade on mobile. But if there's no particular trigger, all I wait is, for example, conditions are met, I trigger on every bar close, that kind of thing, right? Then this gives me simplicity in terms of execution. And on the go, you will not have time to do analysis. In the first place, why do people trade on the go? Is because they have no time, or they have no computer. So if the analysis was so difficult that, hey, I need computer, you draw a line, draw everything, right? Then you cannot trade on mobiles. Okay. So I also need to make sure that clearly you know where to place your stop losses, and this is overcome by trading higher time frames. This strategy generally we trade on 4 hours and 1 hour bars. So if you trade on the daily bars, 4 hours and daily bars, correction. So if you trade on daily bars, it's only 1 trade a day max. If you trade on 4 hour bars, you only get a trade every 4 hours. In fact, sometimes no trade. So you will not have any issue in very kanchong lah, kanchong with execution lah. Yeah, miss the trade and how lah. You will know exactly when to enter the trade, when you have potential to enter the trade, because it's 4 hourlies and dailies. Okay. If you still remember one of the methods that I shared with you, which is the Baccarat method, it is actually a little bit similar, but it's actually a bit more aggressive than the Baccarat method. In general, it can yield more profits than the Baccarat method, because this one goes all the way to the end of the trend. But Baccarat, we only do 2 to 3 days trend. Okay. If you don't remember the Baccarat method, then it's okay. Then don't care first. Just maybe come for the course this Saturday or next week. I'll hold some classes to follow up on that to reinforce, and hopefully I can give you the new indicators by next month. And next month, so it's a very exciting few weeks. You have crypto course, you have learning new strategy, new indicator. You can go to tour our factory. A lot of things to do this 1-2 months. So get ready, for some knowledge input lah. Okay, so we are moving on from just a few MAs, that kind of thing, to we're moving on to a lot of brand new things. I think it's important to keep up the times and be ahead of everybody, because if it's something everybody's already doing, then no point. Right, so I think we're one of the first to have this factory. Trust me, don't do this on yourself at home, because it's not easy. I mean, the crypto side of things. You think planting a rig at home is very easy? There's a lot of problems like electricity, the heat, the cooling, everything. And again, it's not scalable. Maybe if you have hobbies, you like to play around, fiddle around with machines. One rig at home I think it's fine. But if you want to do it, for me, I want to do it at a business level, or industrial level, investor level, right? You have to be having it at the industrial factory and everything. Okay, but more will be shared this Saturday and also when you come for the tour. Okay. Anything else you want to look at? I think I covered most of the things I want to cover today. Just nice, about 40 minutes. I think just nice is like one episode of drama. So I think to summarize, I give you trading ideas for the week. And again, we have RBNZ for the week. So look out for Kiwi dollar. That's number one. Number two, I think I share a few the proceedings for the rest of the week. Saturday course, crypto, new trading strategy, new EA, new indicator, tool for the factory and everything. So don't get a shock. So how come suddenly got this kind of thing? No, it's been prepared already, because to trade the cryptocurrencies, there needs to be new techniques. You cannot just use the old techniques and just run go legal on Bitcoin. Cannot be. It will not work that well. So we need to cater different strategies for different instruments. Okay. So I'll try my best to be conducting the course personally on Saturday morning. Then if not, if I really can't make it, I'll try and make a appearance somehow, depending on what time my wife delivers. If really cannot, then it will be Hansing plus Jason. They are more than qualified to do all these. I've already make sure that they know. I'll be having a meeting with them on Wednesday just to clear off the slides and everything. So rest, I'm very sure you're in good hands. Okay, so but definitely I'll do my best to be there on Saturday morning as well. But just want to make sure that if I'm not there, not that I want to talk and want to sleep, but no choice, I'll be out of hospital. Okay, so okay, I'll update you again by WhatsApp. Do look out for the trades I mentioned just now, and hope you guys make some money before Saturday. Okay, Saturday lunch is provided. If you have any special dietary requirements, do let my staff know. I'll be ordering a normal buffet lah. So if you have any dietary requirements, do let my folks know as well. Okay. If not, again, this webinar is recorded. Thanks for all the well wishes. Not easy because it's a third boy. So I may have to do more webinars in the short term. For these 2 months, there will be more webinars because there's some need to take care of family first. But definitely lessons and courses, and luckily there are more support in terms of the team is growing. More admin staff, Hansing, we have Jason taking care of rigs and everything. So team is growing, team is stronger. So I don't think we have a big problem. Okay. So thanks everyone once again, and we'll see you on Saturday morning. Okay. Thank you. Bye bye.